Okay, everybody, sorry about that. I think we are ready. Got a few challenges here this evening. So just want to welcome everybody to our educational session. Tonight we have TOCO Auto Warranty. We have our home and auto carriers, at least two of them, Liberty and Farmers. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. And we do have Amy Robertson, our member of the insurance board. She's going to kick this thing off and we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, well, I welcome you as well. And I appreciate everyone taking their time out of their busy schedule to learn about our quality supplemental insurance products. As CJ said, we are featuring our home and auto products from Liberty Mutual, Farmers and Travelers, and our vehicle warranty.
Okay, can you hear?
Pardon?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Amy. I'm talking to Marcus. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. And our vehicle warranty product from TOCO. And so I'm Amy Robinson, as CJ indicated, and I'm a member of the insurance board representing the West, and I'm also the chair of the educational sessions committee. And I thank my other members for all their support. And I always need to thank CJ for all his support, and John Owens for his communication efforts to make these sessions happen. And if you have any questions, we ask that you submit those via the Zoom chat to keep our time schedule on track, because we do have several vendors presenting tonight, and CJ will supplement, I'm sure. And so with that, I'm going to pass it on to Janice Smith, our insurance board chair, for a few comments.
I'll just reiterate what Amy has said, and thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules. I know that, and we'll try to keep this at the hour that we have. So I won't take up any more of your time, and I'll turn it over to CJ to introduce our vendors for this evening. Thank you.
Yeah, before we do that, I'm going to share my screen and go over a little bit about SEANC Insurance products here. If I can find my flyer. Let's do it this way. I'm just going to talk about them. One of the things that we do offer at SEANC is we have a number of different insurance products, all are supplementals. And one of the benefits of the SEANC programs is that you can, John's going to share that, I believe. There you go. Thanks, John. So you get, you can enroll anytime throughout the year. We do have ongoing enrollment all year long, which is somewhat unique in the insurance business in our industry. So that's a benefit for our members to be able to enroll anytime throughout the year. Go to the next slide. Thank you, sir. Yeah, there you go. We do offer a $1,000 AD&D accidental death policy with your membership. That doesn't cost you any additional money. We have Delta Dental, which is our dental provider, and there's a $2,000 orthodontia benefit with that. So anyone on the premium plan has that $2,000 lifetime maximum benefit for braces for that benefit for that plan. There's guarantee issue on our life insurance policies for the first 180 days of your SEANC membership. So basically, there's no health questions or anything for the first 180 days. That's really important as well. Again, all of our plans are portable. So if you retire, or even if you left state government, and if you wanted to keep your insurance, as long as you continue your SEANC membership, you can keep your insurance plans. We also honor domestic partner coverage. So if you're not married, your domestic partner can be added to your insurance plans is a dependent on the plans, which is again very unique in the insurance business. So there's no waiting periods for any of our plans. So as soon as your effective date starts, you can go ahead and start taking advantage of using the plans. And then for our vision plan on the there's no extra fees for a cosmetic lens. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our presenters. We have enough time to go here to get everybody in, but go ahead and get started with farmers. I think the gentleman's name was Dean there. So John, you can close that out and we can come back to that at the end. So Dean, you want to go ahead and get started? Do you have anything to share or are you just going to talk?
No, I was going to share. So if I can, if you give me a second, we don't use Zoom as often. So I get a little
Yeah, that's
bit,
fine. Yeah.
let's see. Tell me if you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Good evening, everyone. Dean from Farmers. Really going to just spend a few minutes of your time, of my time, and talking to you a little bit about farmers and why farmers would be something for you to consider. Why? One of the main reasons is that you have a different range of all different products and services that we offer, and flexibility as far as budgeting for your own needs. And of course, when you think about auto and home insurance, typically the higher the premium is often driven by the more bells and whistles we put on our policies, right? So keep that in mind. And that goes kind of hand in hand when we talk about needs and budgets. Plus, you get access to savings and discounts just for working where you work. So that's pretty cool too. We offer, just as I'm sure many of the competitors and people, our partners that we speak with on the phone today will share with you, we offer the same great types of coverages from multi-bundle packages where, of course, when if you bundle, you typically are going to have an opportunity to save some more money. You can cover your auto, you cover your home. A lot of people now, renters, I know a lot of places where I live, we are required to have renters insurance. And I don't know, I'm sure other places are as well. Opportunity to cover for floods, condos, boats, you name it, pretty much a wide gamut. And one of the things that you'll see here in the middle, I guess 3/4 of the way down, it says others have saved on average $661. And I'll just tell you, obviously, you have things that are going to drive your rates. They're going to be things like your driving history, of course, and sometimes, depending on where you are, it could be just the city, could be the zip code. A lot of different things come into play when you're talking about your policies. What we like to talk about, some of the advantages that we have, is that one thing that's pretty cool is that you would, for the very first one where it says replacement cost for total loss, you basically would not have to worry if you should have insufficient coverage for your new car as soon as you drove it off the lot. Because as we all know, when you leave, it immediately you lose value when you buy a brand new vehicle. Your new vehicle, if it was damaged by a covered cause of loss, would then be either repaired or replaced with a new car with no deduction or depreciation. Of course, as you notice at the bottom, there's always going to be footnotes. And the biggest caveat for this is just knowing that it needs to be within the first year or 15,000 miles. But it's a pretty nice benefit that you may or may not hear often. Then, of course, replacement costs for parts, replacement costs for coverage on homes, things like that, replacement costs on the contents of your home, your blanket property limits, identity protection. Identity protection does apply in North Carolina if you chose to have home policy, and there is additional premium for that. But I did want to mention that that's an option for you as well. You have the ability to be able to get discounts because, as I stated a couple of slides back, as an employee, you get a discount. If you should have you also have tenure discounts. So the longer you're employed, the more likely you're going to actually have more money that you'll actually save. Another great discount is multi-policy. As we probably know, when you bundle, you're typically going to save money, auto and home together. Claims-free driving rewards, which is a great reward program. It's available for basically once you've enrolled, and then payroll deduction. So you actually have the ability to have it right out of your pay, which is also a really nice benefit. I wish that I could personally take advantage of that because it's a nice thing and it's convenient, not having to worry about it comes right out of your paycheck. Okay. All right. Basically, a couple of things I'll just talk about here. Auto and home insurance is designed to address unexpected loss. We provide tools that can help you navigate the claims process and hopefully prevent accidents before they even ever happen. We also provide tips that we have, money-saving information to help you prevent the worst, right? Our contractor networks can help insured with qualified basically for the job. Of course, insureds may always choose their own auto repair service providers, and roadside assistance is there to help if a disablement should happen. So again, just like some of our friends on the call that you'll hear about today, very similar services as well. And then beyond the call today, you'll have the ability to be able to contact one of our call center representatives to be able to get a quote on your auto and home needs. And that does conclude, CJ, my slides.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot, Dean. We do have some questions, but I think we'll wait till Marcus does his presentation because I think those questions will apply to both of you guys.
Okay.
So Marcus, Marcus is having trouble with his audio. So basically he's going to speak. I have him on a phone call here, and he's going to speak through my phone, and hopefully you guys be able to hear him give his presentation. So we'll see how this goes. Marcus, do you have a slide or anything to put up to share?
No, I don't have a slide. I was just going to basically hit some highlights of what everybody's concerned about right now on the auto and home side.
Okay.
So as everybody knows, in the last 3 or 4 years, the auto and home rates across the country have skyrocketed, and that North Carolina is no exception to that rule, especially on the home insurance side. That's one of the things I wanted to very much talk about, where homeowners insurance in North Carolina has gone through the roof for the simple reason that the coast gets hit almost every single year, several times a year. Hail damage, the roofs are the #1 problem with these home insurance companies. You have a bunch of companies that used to be in North Carolina that have pulled out, that no longer offer insurance here. They're kind of getting like Florida and California in that aspect. They've really tightened down the underwriting big time as far as how old your home is, how old your roof is. And the thing that I want people to really understand is you got to be careful on home insurance, because if you switch let's say you've got a home that's built in 1970 and the roof is, I don't know, 18 years old, and you're with a company right now and you go and switch a company, it may or may not be to your advantage to save that money, because a lot of times they'll do an internal and external inspection. And if they find anything that needs to be done or updated, they could say, hey, you got to fix this roof or fix this or that, or we're going to cancel the policy. So there's been a lot of people that's kind of gotten themselves in a pickle. Sometimes it's great to switch insurance, right? But not to the expense of getting, caught with having to do a $18,000 repair in order to keep your insurance. That's the big one on that side. So they really want homes that are less than 20 years old. They really want homes that have a newer roof on it, meaning 15 years or newer. That's really where you get the preferred rates at. Obviously, new construction is always going to get the best rates. And just like the gentleman said from Farmers, it really depends on the car insurance side, on your driving record, your insurance score, and your zip code that you live in. Yes, I'm Comparion, which is owned by Liberty Mutual, but I represent about 25 different companies that I can shop people's rates with. I'm answering the questions in the chat here. If you go back to the array of things that we offer, same kind of deal as Farmers. We offer car, home, motorcycle, RV, renter's insurance, everything you can think of under the sun, except for business insurance and health insurance. We don't do those two. Again, as far as life insurance goes, we offer that as well. Term, whole life, and universal life. We have a return of premium product where if you have it and you don't use it in 25 years and you want to cash it out and get all your money back, that's an option for you, as well as anybody that wants a policy up to 250,000 can get a policy with no medical exam needed as long as you're under the age of 65.
And Marcus is an agent that works out of the Raleigh office. So he's, been knowing Marcus for a long time. He comes to a lot of our scenic events. So in Liberty Mutual, they asked me to get someone that was local versus having someone from their home office. So that's why Marcus is joining us here. So is that it, Marcus? You done?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I would be happy to take any questions anybody has. I see a couple popping up here, but
Yeah, I'm not sure what Laura's talking about. I got an email that would 7.5 for 2.5. So I guess your insurance is going up for 2025 and 26. I guess that's what that means.
that's going to be, go ahead.
Just to explain to you what I'm talking about, I live in Wilmington, and of course, there's been a great deal said about those, the island cities and all of that. So I got an email from Department of Insurance, and it said that it would go up 7.5 for 25 and for 26. So if that's true, I'm delighted. But then I'm asking you if that is really true. Do you know for Wilmington?
So that's going to be relative to each company. So what happens is the Department of Insurance, they can approve a certain rate adjustment, and then every individual company out here can take that rate of 7% or whatever it is that's approved. They can either take that and use just that, or they can add more to that if need be to make the risk worth their while. So that's going to be very specific to each company. So to answer your question, if that's what they approve, most companies will take the 7% or whatever the approved rate is that the DOI is going to approve. And then they may or they may not go above that rate. You would see that on your next renewal, though. Like if you get a renewal in the mail, you'll be able to tell based on your last year's renewal versus this one how much of a rate increase you're going to get. They usually send that out between 30 to 45 days prior to your renewal.
So I can take my cans to the collector and make up the difference. Never mind.
You have a lot of cans.
Okay, to the next question. Once someone asked Dean, how does the policies apply to retirees? And basically what he replied is, it's based on eligibility. So as long as you're a scenic member and we send the eligibility file to the insurance company, letting them know who's eligible to participate. Retirees, just like active members, have that same status as far as participation in the plan. So regardless if you're active or retired, there's no difference in the rates or the discounts. Well, I wouldn't say the rates, that's up to the insurance company, but as far as what they offer discounts, there's no difference in that. So we treat our retirees the same on the home and auto as we do the active members that are still working. Ms. Shirley Bell asked a question, and I have some additional questions, but I'm going to get to the ones in the chat first, and then we'll move to the other questions. Because houses today are built on slabs, what difference does that make in insurance rate? Dean or Marcus, any one of you guys, or either one of you want to comment on that?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
The question is, if your house is built on a slab, does that matter with insurance rates?
I don't know that it's necessarily driven by slab per se, as far as the rates for, at least for farmers.
It's probably based on where you live in the state. Like, if you live on the coast, you're gonna.
Well, sure, yeah.
Yeah. Those
That's
are more
perfect. That's a good example.
Yeah. Marcus, you have any additional on that?
That's correct. If you're on a slab or it's an enclosed crawl space, that's really not going to make a difference on your rate, at least with us. But if you're at the coast, you will certainly want to be elevated with stilts. Obviously, you may not be insurable if you're not at a certain elevation if you're coastal.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Daisy, what is this question about here? Katrina, what did she say? What was her question?
I can answer Amy's question real quick.
Oh, retirees. Go ahead.
It says if you've had Liberty Mutual in the past, yet they are not your current carrier currently, do past claims go against you or are they forgiven? No, your claims follow you no matter where you go because those are your claims. For example, say you had a claim with Liberty Mutual and you switch over to Nationwide, that company's still going to see that you had a $40,000 water claim, and that's going to still affect you for a number of years.
Yeah.
For 5 years.
Okay.
You do
That's
say,
good to know.
say for 5 years?
For 5 years.
Okay, that's important too.
Now you do have some companies out there, and it depends on the underwriting at the time. Some companies will have like a hurricane type claim that comes through. Sometimes those claims, if it was a wind and hail type claim, they may count that as a natural disaster and may not hit you as hard on that. Whereas if it was something that you caused or you neglected to do, those are always going to affect you.
Mm-hmm.
So like running into a tree or something. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, like if you run your car through your garage door, that's going to affect you on both your car and your home insurance. That's a double whammy.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, if you run your home into a tree, you got some issues there, Amy. Next question is from Kirk. What if you have a claim, it's not your fault? And what does it say? In service from that service provider? Oh, I guess it's from the insurance company. What if you have a claim that's not your fault? Is that going to count against you? It's if you file a claim, I guess if you're homeowners, you file a claim, it's going to count, right, Marcus or
Correct.
Dean?
Yeah, if you file a claim, unfortunately, it is going to.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, CJ. I'm gonna do this quick. I'm on another call, but yeah, I'm saying if it was like I had a company came in and did a service to my home and it flooded my home, but it went through them, will that still affect my premiums?
If the
Not
claim,
through them.
yeah, I was gonna say if it's through them, then the answer would be no.
Okay, thank you.
So to your point, Kirk, I've had this happen with other clients in the past where somebody comes, they're doing some work at your house. Maybe they're doing some plumbing underneath your sink and they break a pipe and it floods it. They're going to try to get you to file the claim. Don't you dare file that claim. Get them to file
Absolutely.
that insurance, because if you file it through yours, you're going to be getting that huge increase for the next 5 years. And then there are certain companies that if you have one claim, they'll drop you. And there's other companies out there, if you've got 2 or more claims, like 96% of the companies in North Carolina don't want to touch you.
Mm.
So you got to be careful about what claims you do file.
Thank you.
Yeah. And maybe, and one of the things that I just recently heard, and like Marcus, you were just saying, and you and Dean can talk about this, is so what's going on here? I guess this is kind of, to me, it's recent. Maybe it's not because I'm just hearing about it. And you mentioned earlier, Marcus, about if your home has a roof that's old, now these companies don't want to insure you, or they want you to replace your roof to get a new roof before they write you a policy. What is that something new in the last year or two, or is that been going on for a long time, or what?
Dean, you can talk on it, and I'll do as well. But you want to
No,
go first?
I would say it's been going on for a while, and unfortunately, because we all know that sometimes, as much as we like to think everyone is honest, we know that doesn't always happen. Because of that, obviously, there has to be some sort of stipulations and guidelines to do that. So we are seeing more and more with some older homes, so obviously could potentially have higher premiums. And obviously conversely, when you have a newer home, you're likely to have a lower premium, is what I would say. So Marcus,
So
what do you?
let me ask you this now. Just say if you have an older roof and you get insured, then you replace your roof. Should you go back to the insurance company and say, "Hey, look, guess what? I got a new roof. Can you lower my rates or
Absolutely.
take a review of my policy?"
You certainly can. As long as you're,
100%.
yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Call your insurance company, tell them that you got a new roof, and make sure you get documentation from your builder that's a certified builder or a certified roofer that's licensed, and keep that paperwork so that because they're going to want documentation that you a bill of sale that you replace that roof in order for them to give you the credit for a new roof.
Okay, cool. Good to know. So
that'll absolutely help your rates.
okay. So we got some questions that were submitted from Amy Insurance Board here. I'll go through some of these. It's a pretty long list. I don't think we'll get through all of them, to be honest with you. But we'll go through it because we still have TOCO, Lou with TOCO Auto Warranty up next. Okay, can you get a discount for safe driving record, no tickets or no accidents, and for how long does that normally last? I guess as long as you have a safe driving record, right?
Yeah, it's based on the driving program that we have. I mean, you would pretty much, we look at them every renewal.
Yeah, yeah. I know in North Carolina, the rates change if you don't have any experience. It's 3 years. So inexperienced driver rates are going to be different for those that have more than 3 years of experience. Is that the same for you guys, all your clients, or any state, Dean, or just North Carolina?
Actually, I believe it's just North Carolina. I would have to confirm that part, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay, yeah. Next question. My child has good grades. Would that qualify as a discount?
Yes, there are some companies that will give good student discounts as long as they maintain a certain GPA, and that's for high school and college.
And I
Yeah.
guess, does it matter how far you travel back and forth to work? I know that's one of the questions they always ask you. How far do you drive to work? Yeah, I'm sure that does.
Yeah, so they've gotten really big on that because if you want to, during COVID, a lot of people weren't driving, right? There was a lot of people out on the roads.
Mm-hmm.
So accidents definitely, came down on the car insurance side because there was less people on the roads. So if you're commuting back and forth to work, the way the insurance companies see it, you're more likely, if you're commuting 5 days a week, you're more likely to get in an accident versus somebody who works from home.
That's absolutely.
I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're working from home, you're not driving that much. That makes
Exactly.
sense. Yeah, yeah.
We want to think so anyway. But some of it also, I mean, especially since 2020, really, a lot of people have been at home. So people were seeing some changes and reductions in those rates too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's less traffic on the road too, since, well, it's in Raleigh area, it's kind of picked back up now, but even right after COVID, there was less traffic, so probably less accidents. So I see where that would be a good thing. Is there a discount for multiple vehicles?
Yes. There's a
Yes.
multi-policy discount and a multi-car discount. So like say you got 5 cars, you're going to get a multi-car discount. And if you have the home and auto bundle, that's going to be a multi-policy discount as well.
And that's the same for us.
All right. Any discount given to military, active, retired, or reserved?
Yes, we do.
Dean, do you guys do that?
Yes, we do. I don't know the percentage, but yes, we do.
Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm just going through some of these questions.
CJ, if there's anybody on the call that has Liberty Mutual and you've had Liberty Mutual for a long time, you may be eligible for what we call a rewrite. In other words, just reach out to me if you have a Liberty Mutual policy, you feel like you're paying too much. We can do what they call a rewrite and possibly get your rates a lot lower. CJ, you and I were talking about a lady that I saved a bunch of money for. She got her policy, 20 years ago and got it through our call center, and just rates are a whole lot different now than they were then. So
Yeah.
we're able to save her quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah. If you guys will put your information in the chat for everybody, that way, I think Dean put his in there.
I did as well.
Okay, cool. All right. So we're good to go because I'm looking at another screen.
Actually, I'll have to have another person on our team get that information to you
Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
for your local contact.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Any tips on how to reduce your premium? If you have a high premium, any tips on that?
Be a good driver. You can take offensive courses, and also I would recommend, take a look at, review your policies every year. And like every anniversary, renew the policies and take a look at them closely and say, okay, how did I do? Like, can I adjust someplace, and
Right.
without obviously putting yourself at risk, but reassess, and see can you increase your deductible maybe, what I
Right.
mean? The higher your deductible, obviously the lower your premium is going to be. So I would say probably those are the biggest things for me.
Gotcha.
So what I try to do is I try to do an annual review with I've been doing this 20 years, so I've been in the business a long time. So I've got over 5,000 clients. So I try my best to reach out to my upcoming renewals, at least as many of them as I can. Of course, I can't reach them all, but that's why what Dean said is important too. So like, not only is the agent hopefully going to reach out to you, but if he doesn't get to you, you should, when you get that renewal, call him up or her up and ask, hey, can we go over my policy, do a review just to make sure I have the right coverages? Because maybe something was missed. Maybe there's a car you thought you had full coverage on it, but maybe you just did liability. That happens. You don't want to be caught like that. Or maybe there's a vehicle that's old and you got full coverage on it and you don't need full coverage on it because it's got 300,000 miles on it and you need to drop the full coverage because you're just paying for a car that's not really worth anything. So that's a good thing to do, to review it with your agent every year.
Cool. Yeah,
and maybe new discounts out too.
Yeah, exactly. If your home has a security system or a security cameras, does that qualify for a discount?
Yes, it does.
All right.
You just have to send documentation. So like if you have a CPI or ADT, a monitored alarm system, that's a bigger discount than if you just have cameras that you monitor and it doesn't alert the police if there's a break-in. So there's a percentage difference usually, at least with our company.
Does it matter what zip code you live in as far as your rates and all that?
It does.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I guess just, if your area has a high crime area, do you guys use those statistics from the local police departments to determine, rates? Or
I would say that there's always that as a factor. Of course, it's not the sole factor. I think a lot of it also has to do with the amount of residents in the area and just the general traffic. Of course, all of those things we talked a little bit earlier, all those things are going to actually play a factor in that.
Okay. Let's see here. What is the discounts for a student that's living away in college, or is there a discount?
As long as
discount for that, but there's no percentage that I know of.
Go ahead, Dean.
I don't know, we wouldn't give a discount necessarily for that.
I got you.
You might get one just for being maybe a dependent on the policy or something. But that would be.
Okay. All right. So, shifting just a little bit here, please explain what's included in a renter's insurance policy. I guess it all depends on the policy. So I guess you can add things, you can exclude things, but I'll let the Marcus or Dean answer that.
Yeah, it's all on how much
Cool.
the contents
ahead,
you
Dean.
want to insure, really,
Yeah.
and how aggressive you want to be. I know a lot of times, like with rental apartments, they have a set expectation of how much you have to carry 100,000 or something. Really, it depends on how much truly the value you feel the value is to you. You know, and everyone's value to themselves is unique, and then how much you want to put a price on that.
Okay.
And since I'm in Raleigh, to your point, CJ, earlier, I do a ton of renters policies because it's mandatory in the Raleigh area. If you live in an apartment complex here, they make you get a renters policy. You have to carry a certain limit of liability. One apartment complex that they require 500,000, where the typical
Oh my God.
requires 100,000. There's really not a big difference in the price cost. You would think there would be, but there's really not. But that's just what that apartment complex requires for you to move in. And the reason for that is, say you move into an apartment complex and you accidentally leave your water running and it floods your apartment, and you're on the third floor and it leaks down to the people below you.
Right.
And it's $60,000 in damage. Well, you don't have $60,000. So that's why you've got enough money to make the apartment complex whole.
Gotcha. I guess it's the same scenario with you leaving home and leave a pot on the stove and catch the apartment on fire or something.
And a lot of people don't think about it. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a string of apartments that caught on fire a number of years ago on Capitol Boulevard, and it burnt down like, I don't know, 2 or 3 buildings. And Liberty Mutual had several residents in those buildings. And of course, we made those people whole. You know, if you had limits of say 20 or 30,000 in personal property, you know, they got up to those limits to replace their personal items such as their furniture, clothing, you know, all that stuff, as well as, if they had loss of use coverage, which we could put them in a different apartment or hotel and pay their expenses until they can get on their feet again.
Mhm.
Those are all things that are included and can be included in a renter's policy. And there's other add-ons you can put on as well. But renter's insurance is something that if people rent, I think you should have. It's very cheap to get it, and you'll wish you had it if you ever have something happen.
Awesome. Cool. All right. All right, guys. Well, look, Marcus, Dean, thanks a lot. You're welcome to stay on. We got,
CJ, there was one question I don't think that was addressed in the chat.
what's that?
Melody Dixon Brown about trees being cut around the house. Can that help you renegotiate your rates? Do you see it? It's what? is-
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see. Yes.
For me, I don't know that, to be truthful, I don't know that that would really have much of an impact unless you've had claims prior and you're having to maybe show that you've done something to address it. I think that I personally, I don't know that I would see that.
So Dean is correct. That does not affect your rates. The only time that affects your policy is when the inspector comes out to do an inspection on your home. If there's a tree that's overhanging your roof or limbs that are touching your roof, that is cause for them to cancel your policy unless you address that tree and get it cut back so that it does not impede on your house, because that's a hazard at that point. So sometimes you have to do that because it's part of the underwriting that you get a letter from the insurance company. But just trimming trees around your property is something you should do anyway, just so that you don't have that hazard going on, even if the insurance company hasn't per se caught you with that issue.
Mhm.
But just trimming trees for aesthetics, that doesn't help your policy.
Okay.
I just noticed that one had not been addressed. Thank you.
All right.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And again, you guys are welcome to stay on the call if you'd like. We got your information, and we're going to move to TOCO Warranty, which is our automobile warranty. And we have Lou. And Lou, I could never pronounce your last name, man. So
That's
you
fine.
you can let us know.
It's an old Southern name. The last name is pronounced Ascanio. Actually, it's Southern Italy. So if anyone's
Okay.
interested.
Yeah, I didn't think it was Southern. I didn't think it was Southern American, okay. That's a new guess, so, okay. All
Exactly,
right.
exactly. Well, thanks, folks. Thanks, CJ.
Mhm.
And in case anyone is waiting on dinner, I'll make this quick. So TOCO at Work was launched as a new scenic member benefit last summer, and we've been pleased with the response so far. All members, including retirees, are eligible for the TOCO program. And by the way, it is TOCO, not taco. Sometimes people get us mistaken for the food. So I almost said it. What TOCO is a vehicle service contract that protects members in the event of a needed repair that is not due to accident. So Farmers and Liberty and those insurance companies protect you in the event of a car repair that's needed as a result of an accident, and we cover you when your repair is not due to an accident. And in fact, you're about 10 times as likely to need a repair that is not due to an accident as one that is due to an accident, and the costs can be significant, as anyone knows who's ever had to replace a transmission or suspension or an engine or any major system, and even the small stuff these days, because cars are all electronic or what have you. It can be very expensive. So I'll get into the specifics to just give you a quick overview. You'll see that when you go on to TOCO, and you can get to TOCO from the scenic member benefit site under insurance and then under auto, or you can go direct. Usually in our we have an ad, I think, CJ, is that an ad in every weekly
Yep.
one of the
Yep, in the scoop.
newsletters? So
Yeah, it's in the scoop every Friday. Yep, sure is.
click right through, or various ways to find us. So 3 options in terms of coverage, because people kind of need various types of protection. So you can get powertrain protection only, so kind of the big things: engine, transmission, drive axle, your 4-wheel drive, all of that sort of stuff. But some people have vehicles that have an extended powertrain warranty and don't need protection for that. They need protection for kind of everything else: AC, cooling system on the car, the radiator, electrical, brakes, all of that sort of thing. So that is the Plus program, and then the Premium program covers everything. So all plans have a $200 deductible that applies, and that is per your repair. So if you have an engine repair that needs doing, you pay the first 200, and then we've got it after that up to an annual limit of liability. So once a year, we'll pay as much as $5,000 worth of car repairs. If you go over that, then you're responsible for that amount that's over that amount. We have towing reimbursement and car rental reimbursement as well. Doesn't matter which plan you're on. And then for your vehicle to be eligible for the TOCO program, it must be under 150,000 miles and under 15 years. If you're covered by TOCO and your car either goes over 150,000 miles while you're covered, or over 15 years of age, then at that next policy anniversary, your coverage would end, and obviously you no longer pay the premiums. The premiums are down here at the bottom, so it's $59.95 per month for either the powertrain or the Plus coverage, and $99.95 for the premium coverage. So it's not. I wouldn't refer to the TOCO coverage as cheap, but if you've ever compared it to what I call a direct to consumer offer. So, if you watch any TV, you're flooded by ads for Car Shield or some other, the various other types of vehicle service contracts. There are literally over 300 companies in the US that sell vehicle service contracts direct to consumers. If you've ever bought a used car, you know that you get a lot of junk mail right after that. And if you look at those rates, they will be much higher for a similar level of coverage. So you kind of got to be wary of what you watch for. One of the reasons I think Scenic felt good about TOCO and the TOCO program is we have excellent ratings, whether it's from the Better Business Bureau or Trustpilot, or Consumer Affairs. We really stand out because this industry has kind of gotten a bad reputation, frankly, for having, fine print in the contract that says, oh, we limit you here, there, or what have you. So something to be wary of. Just a couple of other things to note. In addition to the protection, the financial protection TOCO gives you, we really hold your hand through the whole process of car repair. So I mentioned we'll provide roadside assistance, we'll provide transportation coverage as well, but we also hold your hand. We can refer you to a repair shop if you don't have one that you like. You can go to any repair shop. We don't constrain that as long as it's a licensed mechanic. And then we work directly with the repair shop. So we will talk to them about what repairs need to be made. And then we will pay that repair shop directly. So you don't have to pay the repair shop and then have to wait for us to reimburse you for that claim. So I think that's a really nice option and a really nice feature. Last thing I would note is all TOCO policies holders also have a premium membership to Open Bay. It's called Open Bay Plus, and that will provide you with savings on any repair that's not covered by TOCO, or any of your like maintenance items, like you need tires or oil changes or what have you. That's a $99 per year value, and that comes with all TOCO policies. So I think that's all I have. CJ, I don't know if there are any questions.
Yeah, we do have some questions here. Hold on, let me get to those.
Could you repeat what he just said about that before the phone rang? Something about the premium savings?
The Open Bay
Open
Plus.
Bay,
So
yeah.
all
Mhm.
TOCO members have a free membership to Open Bay Plus, which will save you on
Open
oil
what?
changes, not, any repairs that aren't covered by your TOCO policy, you'll save 25% on, or up to 25%, as well as oil changes, new tires, all that sort of thing.
It's basically like a discount program that they're giving you with when you purchase the warranty program.
Correct. And it's good for, all the major folks you'd expect: Goodyear, Pep Boys, Jiffy Lube, Quick Car, all of those folks, and many more.
All right. Yep. So I do have some questions. Someone asked, is TOCO an
CJ,
acronym for something? Pardon me. Go ahead.
this is Althea. Can he go back to the screen that had the rates on it so we can look at those while we're talking?
Yep.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
I'll just go over that. I think there's 3 different plans. You got the powertrain, you got Plus and Premium. Powertrain and Plus are $59.99 per month, and then the Premium plan, which covers everything, is $99.95. So, and then there's a $200 deductible as well. So just remember that. Okay. So Katrina asked a question: is TOCO a acronym for something? Lou?
Nope. I wasn't around when they named the company. I'm not sure I'd pick it, but I think they like the toucan logo. So
Right. Yeah.
that's the connection.
A couple questions here. Does the warranty cover labor costs? Yes, they do, right? That's all included, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Part-time labor. Yes.
Yeah. Let me see. Some of these you answered during your presentation. What is the waiting period before I can file a claim?
That's a good question. It is 60 days. And that's because in order to provide these rates, there can be what is called in the insurance industry or adverse selection. So someone hears something wrong with their car, and the first thing they look for is a protection from that cost. So there is a 60-day waiting period. After that 60 days, then you can file your claims.
It's kind of like pre-existing conditions with a life insurance policy. So
Exactly.
if
That's
you
a
have
good
pre-existing
analogy.
conditions, you have to wait until a certain time period before you can actually use it, because like Lou said, if they didn't do that, you would sign up for the policy today and take your car to the repair shop tomorrow.
Exactly.
So go through this again. I know you covered just a little bit, but what is the process for getting a repair authorized?
Yes, typically you can do it online, but most people just call us and say, "Hey, I've got an issue," and we can kind of help you diagnose it. Hey, in cars these days, something's going to go on in your dashboard. It's something's going to be flashing. So call us up and we'll walk you through it. If your car needs towing, we'll arrange it. If you need a referral to a repair shop, we can handle that. It's really I think again, as great as the financial protection is, the support around when you have a claim is as valuable.
Next question: do I have to use a specific auto repair shop network?
No, any licensed mechanic is fine.
So Lou, just to make this to be clear here, so when someone has a problem, do they call their repair shop, or they call you, and then you call a repair shop in their area? Because I was on
But
the impression,
they can go to a repair shop. They can deal directly with the repair shop and loop us in. We prefer that you call us first, but we don't require it.
Okay, gotcha. Sounds good. Okay. How can I reach customer service? There's
Do
an
most
800.
dealers take it?
Yes. Oh yeah. Because all dealers will be. Oh, I lost you. Sorry about that. I was going to type a phone number in there, but I'll give it to you instead. Yes, all dealers, repair shops are licensed. So yes, we work with a lot of dealers.
Okay. That was my only question.
So Amy's had a question here. Do need to contact before putting in a claim? In the past, we've had emergency situation, had issues with contacting the warranty company first. So just like Lou said, I guess you can call the repair shop first.
Absolutely.
And go ahead and get that, especially if it's an emergency situation, get the process started and then follow up with TOCO to make sure that, I wouldn't wait till the car is fixed and they say, okay, here's the bill. I don't think that would work.
Well, you can, you really can, but then we can't really help you at all with the process. We part of what we do is we don't want the repair shop to overcharge you. So all of our claims people are licensed mechanics themselves. So it's I don't know, some of you on the call may be car people, but I am not, and I always feel like I'm at a disadvantage to some extent when I need a car repair, because again, I really don't know much about vehicle repairs.
Is most of the electrical parts on the premium covered? I have a newer vehicle that has a lot of electrical components on it.
Absolutely. So those electrical components would be covered either under the plus or the premium program.
Okay.
Would you still need AAA policy if you signed up with TOCO?
There may be things that you get with AAA. But the roadside assistance, and our partner for roadside assistance is a company called Honk, like honk your horn. And so that roadside assistance is similar to AAA in that You know, if it's a cold day, your car won't start because your battery's dead. They'll come out. Or if you get a flat tire, they'll come out, what have you. So, it's up to you. I don't know. I don't have a direct comparison, but yeah, I would say you'd probably be fine with it, with just the TOCO roadside assistance.
Yeah, plus, I mean, do they come to your home? Like if your car won't start, is that the same as roadside assistance or
Yeah,
not?
Yeah.
yeah. Or let's say you lock yourself out of your car.
Right, yeah,
I've done that before.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of good, Laura Overstreet said $75 would not pay for towing anywhere. Yeah, it's just a supplement to help pay for towing, not to say they're gonna pay the whole towing bill. I mean, if that was the case, I mean, you could get your car towed for 50 miles and
Right. That is it.
charge you
Yep.
$600, you know.
Yep. Good point.
Most of the other questions are just, they've already been answered through the chat. I don't see anything that's kind of sticking out, to me.
And CJ, I'm happy to, you know, if folks have questions or what have you that we have not addressed,
yeah,
then I'm happy to for you to give my direct phone number. So I can give it right here. It's 704-497-2950. So feel free to reach out. And then we also have, and you'll find it on the member site.
Yeah.
Our customer service line is available as well.
Yep. The customer service line on our website is that number that you can actually call for customer service.
Yeah, it's 1-800-262-6458.
And you probably want to call that number if you have an issue. I mean, I appreciate Lou giving his phone number out there, but if you have an issue, you broke down on the side of the road, I would prefer you call the 800 number versus
Yeah, if you have a
Lou.
question about the program, call me. But if you
Lou
have a
might be
claim,
Lou might be in Italy somewhere drinking wine or something, you know.
well, hopefully that would be the case.
Yeah, so but seriously, yeah, I would call the 800 number. That way you'll get a customer representative and can get some direct assistance, and you know, we can follow up with Lou later if we need to. But,
Correct.
CJ,
yeah.
we had one more question from Kirk on the chat.
What would cause a denial or stipulation on repair?
Well, if you, not a denial, but if you went over your limit, annual limit of liability is $5,000. So if you went over 5,000 during your policy year, then you wouldn't be able to, you know, get a reimbursement or for another repair until the following year. If it wasn't, let's say you had the powertrain coverage and you had an electrical system. So if it wasn't a covered, you know, part based upon the coverage level, trying to think if it was a pre-existing condition, as CJ had noted, that would be excluded. Other than that, I'm trying to think of. I think there may be. There is some language in the contract that says if you neglected, like if you don't
You don't
keep
perform
up your
maintenance.
maintenance,
Yeah.
you never change the oil in your car and you lose your engine, then that would be a problem.
It's basically personal responsibility, you know.
Yeah, and again, I
you gotta
refer
change
you.
the oil and do things, huh? Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, I just refer folks to our consumer ratings to kind of indicate how kind of honest and conscientious we are about paying claims, and you compare that. So I think on Trustpilot, which is a good rating, kind of resource for folks, our rating is a 4.6 or 4.7 out of 5. Compare that. The largest vehicle service contract provider in the U.S. is CarShield. And I want to say their ratings are 1.5 maybe out of 5. They've just settled with the Federal Trade Commission for unfair, claims practices and unfair marketing practices. So we really try to stand behind our program. Obviously, we're similar to an insurance company. We can't pay claims that are not legitimate. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to. Otherwise, these rates would be much higher.
Oh, all right. Well, nobody has any more questions. I want to thank Lou for getting on the call tonight and for your presentation. Thanks a lot, Lou. Look forward to continue working with you.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
Appreciate the
And
relationship.
yeah. That's all we have for tonight. So I want to thank everybody for getting on the call. We're a couple of minutes over, but it's been really good, good conversation here. And if you have any more questions, you can always send me an email. I'll put my email address in the chat right now. Any questions about any of our other insurance products that we haven't talked about? And March 4th, we will have another webinar, and it'll be at 6:30 p.m. We'll cover the MetLife products, the MetLife Legal, the Aura, and pet insurance. So please join us March 4th at 6:30 p.m. Amy and Janice, you guys have anything before we close out?
No, I would have just extended that invitation, and you have, so thank you. And just, thank everyone again, vendors and members for participating.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say before we leave is go to our website, SEANC.org. You can look for insurance products under the insurance tab. It's directly on our website, the drop-down box. You'll see a list of all the products. Just remember, we have enrollment ongoing all the time, so you can enroll anytime throughout the year. So that's really important. If you have any questions, we have a full staff at the office, a call center, basically. We have 3 insurance specialists, and then we have Daisy Stansel, who is on the program side for MetLife Legal, and she's also licensed insurance. She's answered questions as well. So feel free to call us anytime. If you have a question about your insurance products, you need clarification on something or enrollment, we're glad to help you. So thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you on March 4th.
Thank
All right.
you.
And
Thank
thanks to the
you.
insurance
Thank you.
board. I forgot about the insurance board. We got a lot of members on
Yeah.
here. Yeah, we got some members on here. We got Laura, we got Janice, Kim. Who else is on here?
Pam.
Tracy Webb. Hey, Tracy. Haven't heard from you tonight. Pam.
Pam.
Yeah.
Hello.
We got past president
Rebecca.
Shirley Bell. We got Carl Elliott. So we got a lot of good folks on here from the
And Rebecca.
east side. Rebecca.
Good evening. Hello,
Oh, is
everybody.
Rebecca on here tonight? Okay. I didn't hear anything.
Rebecca and
Yeah, okay.
also Carl.
Yeah. And I do want to thank
Hello.
Daisy. Thanks, Daisy,
Kimberly.
for
Thank you,
answering the
Daisy.
questions in the chat. Got Brenda Williams on here with Brenda Williams Brown. She's one of our directors. So we're thanking everybody.
Yes.
We
TJ.
all feel appreciated.
Yes,
All
we
right.
do. I want to thank, I see some of my districts that I represent on the call tonight. Whoop, whoop. Thank y'all so much for coming in. District
Yeah.
42, Shirley Bell, District 21, Virginia Lindsay, and Kathy Judge is in the house. Thank y'all so much
Okay.
for joining.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Good night.
See ya.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night, all.